relevant, and the hero's got this big agi gain, is actually kind of transitions pretty nicely into a carry, and early on you do huge magic burst damage, so it kind of fits that aggressive style roaming carry that can be played in the early game.
And Biri is dead. I think this man may be a dead man. They've got the Nightmare straight into the arrow. They don't even need to get the extra distance because they know they've got the damage to kill him. He'll pop the Arctic Burn, but Puppey there with the first blood for Secret. Easy kill, easy life for Secret as they start the game off 1-0.
Yeah, and I think the big thing for Secret's draft is they denied the Tiny, which to me was actually going to be a very important pick for DC at their draft. They picked the IO. The Gyro partner just doesn't match up anywhere near as much as having the IO Tiny, and even the last pick, Zeus, just felt like they were scrambling to try to find something that would fit their draft and give them some extra damage that the Gyro doesn't really bring on his own.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can see what they're trying to do with having that extra global element, something else to throw in when the Gyro IO relocates come in. But yeah, and I do like the fact that Secret obviously do go with the block pick Tiny. I feel like more recently we're seeing a lot of teams run the Tiny without the IO with a lot of success. And I think, you know, you are going to have a successful strategy because you've got the Tiny tossing in heroes like the Slardar into the front lines. You've then got the setup, obviously, with the Nightmare to allow the Tiny to get in and lay down his combo to follow up. I mean, the synergy just feels more there with Secret, and it feels a little bit broken for DC because of the fact that Secret took away Tiny.
Oh, yeah. And normally you'd think a team who got forced to, like, counterpick their opponents, take a Tiny, would be like, oh, their draft didn't come together, what's going on here? But it very much feels like this is going to work just fine. You've got a Tiny mid with some dual lane support. It's not an IO, but a Dazzle can stack for Tiny, can offer a lot of just support in general, heal him up, sustain him. And then the Mirana with the Bane. So you've got kind of two unconventional core heroes out of Secret, at least not with their natural partners in the form of the Tiny, but I think they can make it work pretty nicely.
I mean, I kind of like what they're doing here with the lanes, the fact that they're leaving Ush on the top lane with Aoi, so they're going to try and contest Misery's farm. They don't want to get him to get a good timing on the Blink Dagger and the Treads and such, but that's going to leave these heroes on the bottom lane a little bit more vulnerable. We already see Pylai die. Just harassing back Biryu with those right clicks and controlling the Wyvern, and in the lane as well, the fact that you're going to have E farming up against the Tusk, so he should be able to do all right here, and of course Bulba's got to be very careful when that Bane comes back to the lane and looks for that Nightmare arrow combo.
Yeah, so both teams kind of with dual lanes, and it feels like both teams more likely to win their off lanes than their safe lanes in some weird way. Although, as I say that, Dazzle now returns to top, so we've at least got two heroes here to match up against the Gyro IO. And mid lane, Zeus versus Tiny. Probably just going to be a bit of a farm fest here, as both heroes should be able to sustain themselves. You've already got a magic stick on Weeha, and if anything, it's Weeha who's got the higher kill potential in this lane. It's going to be always a matter of how defensive TC plays, sitting back, staying out of the avalanche range.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. In terms of farm, though, they should both be able to find a fair bit. TC should be able to clear down the waves once he gets the, he's got the bottle being ferried back and forward and picking up those runes. But top lane at the moment, in terms of farm, Gyro's now found a little bit as the wave has pushed in, so I should be able to pick up a bit of gold here. All in all, it's going to be a very tough lane for the Gyro, especially if Puppey does hang around on that Dazzle. In terms of harassing him back, and it looks like they're just looking to secure top rune as Puppey just makes the movement down in bottom lane, just moving in onto Bulba and Biryu. The Bane and the Mirana doing their best to push them back, but I mean, in terms of game plan for DC, is it kind of going to be revolving on getting that Thunder God's Wrath online and getting the relocate online before we really see them go for something?
I have Zeus not actually the best roaming hero, unless he gets just this. With a haste rune he can roam, but for the most part Zeus wants to sit mid, farm, stack his neutrals, use the Arc Lightning just to get that kind of high GPM up, and then use it, like you say, the Thunder God's Wrath comes online, and then you've got that assistance for the other lanes. The key thing for DC is running dual lanes here. They didn't give the Mirana Bane lane a solo hero, so if they ever go in with a Nightmare, you can always toggle the sleep off using the other hero, which makes it very hard to get guaranteed kills off. But for now, DC's overall game plan is kind of just secure some farm in the laning stage, and then probably transition into like these 3-4-man group up, push down lanes, look for fights. They've got Gyro and Tusk, two heroes that can work really well together and getting aggressive.
Yeah, it's going to be key to see the Tusk maybe even make the rotation up to the top so they can try and go aggressive onto Misery, which is always going to be hard, of course, with the Dazzle hanging by. Puppey ready with the saves. But so far in the mid lane, Weeha's farming very well. He's not having too much issue at all with the spam. Bottom lane, Envy getting incredibly low here. Pops the charges. They'll actually get the kill onto Bulba first now. Now it's going to be Biryu who needs to retreat here. Have the Nightmare here. Can he set up the Starstorm? He can. He gets the one hit down. It's not going to be enough to bring down Biryu. But nonetheless, getting a kill there again on the boards. 2-0 now for the side of Secret. And the offlane going pretty well as expected for this combo.
Yeah. Just nice defensive play. Holding on, he had the stick charges there. Envy was never really in that much trouble. He kind of knows that Biryu's damage output's limited to the Arctic Burn, and then it wears off. He's got absolutely nothing left to follow it up. So looks like AUI even going to swing bottom lane as well. He brought the bottle. Actually didn't get the bottle refill, which is a bit unfortunate for him, but this is...
Top lane, they realise that Ush is on his own, and this is Goad's sign. Misery tanks a bit of the rocket barrage, but I don't think he cares. They've trapped Ush in the corner. He's trying to turn around with the rocket barrage, going to bring it incredibly close, but Puppey's there with the Grave. Misery finishes it off with a crush, and just some great awareness there from Secret, realising the IO is not going to be about, and that's going to be when Jara's at his most vulnerable. At the same time, there's actually a kill onto the Zeus as well, so... Things not looking great for DC here in the first 4 minutes.
So Tiny solo killing him. We kind of mentioned that a bit earlier. It's the Tiny who has that high kill potential. It looked like the boots pick up, and Zeus did not have boots. So this is kind of actually the standard mid Zeus build, going for a greedy bottle into Soul Ring before you go boots. But against the Tiny, I'd probably advise getting the boots much earlier on. And
TC, he's just died once. We missed it, but we'll see him this time. We're setting it up for Weehaw to close in with the combo. There are going to be TP reactions, but not quite soon enough. They get themselves the kill. They back off, and Aoi and Biri just arriving a little bit too late to do anything in return. Yeah. And Weehaw and Pylai are going to be both safe in this situation here. Another kill for Secret, and DC just being pulled apart. And we're seeing these rotations from Aoi. He's having to TP to towers. Respecting the aggression that Secret's applying, but he's just not able to do anything at the moment to help turn around these fights.
Yeah, unfortunately, those were both long TPs because the Tiny, the Zeus had just TP'd right back to lane. So he'd been killed by the Tiny, TPs to lane, which meant the defensive support TPs took a good 4 seconds plus to actually get there. And that's so much wasted time. For DC, that really cripples them when not only does the Zeus die again.
Oh, Misery with the crush on to Ush. He's going to be fine. He has got Aoi bottling him up. Yeah. So, but he needs this. They can't really leave Ush on his own now against this lane because Puppey and the Jar are going to be on top of it every time looking to go.
They've got a lot of laning problems now. Zeus cannot lane mid without having boots against the Tiny. Tiny's just an easy solo kill on him. Biryu doesn't have boots, but it looks like he's going to be trying to get some XP mid.
Misery making a beeline straight for Aoi with the heal as well. Aoi's just able to tether across to the creep wave, but that's of course going to leave Ush on his own. Misery trying to close in here with the sprint. He's going to have another crush, and there we go. Ush is going to go down. Puppey's got to be careful of the spirits. He will grave himself up. He's going to be fine. That's going to mean there's no grave here for Misery. And Misery trying to think of even going deeper for Aoi, but now he's going to back up. Aoi allowing Bob to chase up here. They'll turn around though as Misery picks himself up a double kill, takes down Aoi on the IO. And this is not great when you can't kill this Slardar and he's allowed to be this aggressive with his playstyle.
It's just, they're playing everything, like they're min-maxing so well here. Puppey going in like aggressively with the Shadow Wave nuke, getting himself and Misery getting away with a 1 HP Grave as well. And then Misery coming back in, gets tethered on and just says, hey, I'll just turn around and kill the IO now. So just great, efficient play.
Bottom lane, Ush. It was like, it's called a safe lane. Maybe I'll have a better time down here. He's lucky that Aoi is around as heals him back up. He's got to be careful of this Bane Mirana combo. We've already seen the CS for EU rack up pretty nicely, 27 for 4. More so though for Weehaw. He's been having a great time mid. 41 CS at the moment on this mid lane Tiny. Level 8 as well, so he has got that nearly the maxed out combo on top of the ult. So anyone he finds on the map now is going to be an insta-kill here for the Tiny.
And the highest Radiant hero level is level 6, so everyone is just food for Tiny. Any combo is going to lead to a kill. Luckily, he was spotted rotating by this ward, so at least DC kind of know where he is, but it just means you're not going to be farming anywhere near it. TC only now about to pick up his boots, but has to be very careful.
He's got to be so careful if he goes down here.
Yeah.
Weehaw is ready to jump. There is going to be the backup of Tusk, so maybe a save can occur. And okay, the creep spotted him now, so they're going to know Weehaw's there. He's not going to be able to find anything with this one.
It's bottom lane. Envy has an arrow. If he gets the leap arrow, it could be a kill. But will be an easy salve up for Gyrocopter in the end.
A little bit of I mean, I guess if Gyro has the chance to get out and call down a barrage, you could easily turn it, so he's just playing it safely. Once he's on his own. Okay, I mean, there we see. There's a fair bit of damage. You're a pretty squishy hero here on the Mirana. They do have this rotation from Weehaw coming in, though, as well. So Weehaw's ready to try and make something happen. Ush and Aoi, they're not aware that he's coming. The arrow is going to get whiffed, unfortunately. So they won't have that to lead in, and Weehaw will now reveal himself in the lane. And it looks like they're just doing a bit of a lane swap now, just allowing Mirana to start to rotate. Nice timing as well, the fact that he'll be able to refill his bottle and maybe even look to try and go for something in the mid lane, where they've got the Bane at the moment, trying to find the levels here for his ultimate.
Yeah, and I think that's where they were happy for Envy just to trade that harass, knowing that he'd be able to get that rune. And Bulba smoked up on his own. This is not a one hero smoke gank that's you're really going to find too much of. 8 minutes in the game, you want to kind of take like a 2-hero kill combo, like take a Tusk with a Gyro or Tusk with a Zeus. Tusk alone just ends up wasting that smoke and running right into a solo hero who he can't even touch. And Secret just going to continue to control the map. They get vision up in the Radiant jungle, so they're now the ones with superior map control, a much stronger lineup. They've got the farm advantage, the level advantage, and DC. Any fight they want to take, they're going to have superior numbers. They're going to have to be taking like 3v2 kind of fights.
Oh,
4v3s.
we are. He's just picking up people across the map. Zeus came in for farm in the mid lane. Dead again. And this time I believe it was with a nightmare set from Bane now. Shards onto E. He's just going to jump over them. He's fine. And 8-0 at the moment. Secret just walking all over the side of DC, and they just don't seem to have an answer at all. The net worth difference for the individuals is certainly starting to rack up now, with Tiny on 4.5k, the closest being this Jar on 2.5, and it's going to be a pretty decent timing here on the Blink if that's what Weehaw wants to go straight for, and also Misery as well on top of his tread. 1600 gold, so we're going to see double Blink coming out within the next few minutes for Secret, and when these kind of heroes are jumping in your faces, if your DC's lineup, there's not a lot you can do to react.
Yeah, it's only 8 kills right now, and DC can kind of stay away. They're lacking boots on Biryu as well as just really getting punished. But once the blinks come up, that's where this kill score could quickly go from bad to absolutely shockingly bad. And I just don't really see a good counterplay for them.
Bottom lane, Ush moving in onto EE. He's got the lead though. He's going to be fine. They just don't have the control here between these two heroes to get him. They're going to need to rely on a rotation maybe from the Tuscan build. Top lane is the Nightmare setup. Misery comes in with the crush, and Bury's just going to melt. Dominating streak now from Misery, and now Bulba's come in, but it's a little bit too late. They're just going to turn around. Pylite down with a Fiend's Grip from the sidelines. It's going to be another kill here for the duo. Double kill for Misery. And DC are just throwing heroes at the side of Secret in what's becoming an absolute train wreck for the side. Aui's going to be lucky that there's someone to tether over to there, as with that haste rune, he was very close to be going for it. But just getting outclassed at the moment by Secret, and that's your blink on Tiny. There's a blink on its way for Slardar. Will miss the avalanche here. TC's got to be careful now as both Puppy and Pi come in. Oh, the arrow. The arrow connected, and with this, he'll find one, he'll find two. Double kill for Eternal Envy.
They're just styling on them.
I mean, they are. This is one of the reasons why Team Secret's kind of tipped to be pretty good in this tourney, and that's Ush dead. Okay.
This is like like the 5th grader like bullying the little kindergartner right now.
Yeah.
This is just not fair. It just feels like they're just bigger, better in every single way, and there's nothing DC can do right now. 13-0. They've got to be pretty demoralized at this point.
There we go. Mid tower's going to fall here. Not a lot the DC can do in reaction. Misery's there as well, just in case anyone dares to TP in. Ready to jump on them, but this is all looking a little bit too grim and a little bit too real here for DC at the moment.
Yeah. And as far as anything DC can do, like group up as 5, go for a smoke, and try and find and isolate a hero. But Secret are so far ahead, they're probably not going to be too concerned about that. They can, if they scat out the smoke, they've got the instant blink escape, so there's no guaranteed like catch. If you find the Slardar or the Tiny, they blink away, you can't snowball them as well, because you can blink away from the snowball coming in. The only thing to stop that is going to be like a Thunder God's Wrath to disable the blink daggers, so life gets very difficult. Here's the kind of 4-5-man smoke gank I was talking about. DC are just praying that they run across someone who either doesn't react quickly, and well,
Misery, if they commit them out, needs to step up the reaction times here, guys.
Exactly what I was kind of talking about. You scout the smoke out, you blink away.
Okay, well, they do get the cooldown out here. Misery's moving in onto TC. They've got the Winter's Curse as well to control Misery, but Puppy Graves himself, he's going to be able to keep himself alive. TP's away, they might lose Misery. Oh, they'll get a kill here, DC. Double kill though for Weehaw as they just turn around the rest of the team onto TC. Weehaw and let it all out. Mr. E himself chasing it down. Triple kill for Wee. Biryu is now the retreat to the bottom right, but they should be able to find this as well as the arrow flies through. Biryu will be able to juke it out, but Weehaw's there. You're not going to be able to juke that. GG's called. 12 minutes in, 17 for 1. Weehaw ending with an ultra kill. And Digital Chaos, DC,
Digital
from the game.
That was absolutely brutal. I mean, I can hear the Russians just yelling like, yes, DC got a kill.
It was, I mean, it's
they
something.
Were cheering for it. But yeah, get a kill, tap out. I mean, DC, I hope they'll just kind of laughing at that point, like, yeah, we just got crushed by one of possibly the best team in the world. Let's just make sure we go out with a single kill so we're not getting blanked.